Hello everyone, this is Professor Orozco with another YouTube video where I'm going to use my years of knowledge in law and business to try to basically give you guys advice that is helpful to you and creates value for you to help you advance your goals. So today we're going to talk about a very important topic in today's very, very difficult times: how to score free legal representation. Now, there's a difference between getting free legal advice versus legal representation, and I want to point that out. Getting free legal advice is just specific to one issue maybe, and there are a lot of great resources out there to do that, like check out Avvo.com or Rocket Lawyer if they're still around, where literally lawyers will help people out for free and crowdsource legal advice for certain topics. Legal representation is a whole different ballgame. That's where a lawyer who's licensed to practice in your state will literally be your attorney and will advocate for you. And that's a huge win. So that's the distinction. Today, I'm going to talk about how to score free legal representation. And today is as best of a time as any to get this because times are really tough. People are going through hard times. People are getting evicted. People are getting cease and desist letters from trademark owners. Small businesses are getting these. People are, facing all kinds of legal challenges, and they just need to have the ability, from collections departments, let's say, they need to have the ability to fight back, or at least have their day in court, or at least, what I teach my students is show up and show the other side that you won't back down. Oftentimes, just the act of showing up with a credible ally on your side, like a licensed lawyer, will make the other side completely back off. So today, that's what we're going to talk about. So the first resource, right, for you as an entrepreneur trying to get these resources of free legal representation is what are called legal aid societies. These are law firms, basically, lawyers who are there on hotlines. Oftentimes they'll meet with you in person, but sometimes it's just by telephone. And they are basically there to give free legal advice. These legal aid societies are oftentimes there to cater to individuals who meet certain income thresholds, meaning that if you make too much money, you will not qualify. So you have to check with the legal aid societies wherever you're located to find out if you meet their qualifications. Some legal aid societies focus on just certain issues like landlord-tenant. Again, you have to find out. If you talk to these folks and they aren't the right folks for you to help with your case, ask for a referral, and they'll point you in the right direction. The second category are pro bono attorneys. That's a fancy word in Latin. Lawyers love to use Latin for free legal representation. Pro bono, for the good of humanity. Because guess what? Lawyers are supposed to give back to society and give free legal representation every once in a while. They can't do it all the time or else they wouldn't be able to pay their bills, but they're supposed to, and oftentimes they do, donate a certain percentage of their time back to the community. They get to choose which cases, but if you need legal representation, this is a fabulous way to get free legal representation. There are three different categories of pro bono lawyers. The first one is a regular law firm. These lawyers, again, as a form of public service, will donate, right, to represent people. So call law firms in your area and ask them who handles the pro bono cases at the law firm. That person might take on your case or refer you to lawyers in that law firm or another law firm that will take your case. In my class that I teach on business law, I have an example of an entrepreneur who went to a law firm and got free legal representation to fight a big company that was trying to shut her down, claiming that she was violating their trademark. She won her case. The lawyers took the case on for free. The second category of pro bono lawyers are public interest law firms. These are law firms just like the other law firms, but these are there only to give pro bono legal advice. The other law firms make money, right, by charging clients an hourly fee. These public interest law firms are set up from the beginning to give free legal representation. The Institute for Justice is a very prominent one. How do these people get their money? They have big donors, or a lot of people who just donate to them to support them. So they're donor driven and they don't charge money. So these public interest law firms will take on cases. The Institute for Justice, for example, recently represented food truck owners who are challenging cities, right, that are trying to restrict their ability to conduct business in their cities. The third category of pro bono lawyers are law schools. Law schools have faculty members who are licensed to practice law. These faculty members run what are called clinics, and the clinics are a great way for the faculty member working with students to take on pro bono cases and help people for free. Think about an entrepreneur that needs help with, let's say, starting a business but doesn't have a whole lot of money. An entrepreneurship law clinic will help them and not charge them oftentimes. So go to a law school that's near you and ask the law school whether there are any clinics that are available for help. There's a whole bunch of clinics. There are clinics that focus on family law, criminal justice reform, and, like I mentioned, intellectual property and entrepreneurship. So those are important resources. The next category is do it yourself, DIY it. A student of mine came up to me once and said, "Professor, thank you so much for the knowledge you gave me. I used that knowledge and I got my trademark for my t-shirt business. And now we're doing fantastic and we have our trademark." I was amazed. He used the knowledge he gained from my course and my textbook to register a federal trademark. It's possible to do that in some cases. So don't underestimate yourself and the vast wealth of knowledge that's out there for you to basically advocate on your own behalf. That's the DIY option. The last option is crowdfunding, basically getting money from the crowd using platforms like Indiegogo. This isn't technically free, but if you're crowdfunding it, other people are contributing and you could then maybe hire an attorney at that point, right? This has worked really well for certain parties. I've used certain cases, again, in my classes that show the power of this, where small entrepreneurs, for example, crowdfunded a bunch of money to go up against much bigger companies that were harassing them and trying to shut them out of business, right? Some final tips and things to consider when you're doing this, right? Scoring free legal representation. One, it's not going to come out of nowhere. You've got to think like an entrepreneur and you've got to hustle, right? You've got to reach out. You got to pick up the phone. You've got to go meet people and talk to people. You got to hustle to get these resources. They're not going to magically come to you, right? Another important tip is try to get as much attention as possible. The media, journalism, your local newspaper, social media, friends and family, on Facebook or on other social media platforms. Get the word out. Lawyers oftentimes are participating in these activities. They might spot your case and say, "Hey, I want to help you out." That's it for today. If you found this information to be of value, please subscribe to my channel. Please comment as well, and please like it and share it as well. Have a great day.